You're walking into a Volkswagen showroom in 2026. You're not looking for some massive 3-row family tank. You're not trying to flex in a 6-figure luxury badge either. You want something sharp. Something quick. Something that looks clean in your driveway but still feels alive when you hit the gas. And then you see it, low, aggressive, sculpted like it actually cares about being driven. The 2026 Volkswagen T-Roc R-Line. And suddenly you're thinking, wait a minute. Did VW just low-key build one of the most underrated performance crossovers of the year? What if I told you this new T-Roc isn't just a facelift, it's a serious glow-up? What if the hybrid setup actually makes it quicker? What if the interior finally feels premium enough to compete with the big boys? And what if this is the moment Volkswagen quietly steals attention from brands that usually dominate this space? Stick with me, because this one might surprise you. Now first off, let's get something clear. The T-Roc has always been that cool European cousin we'd see online and think, why don't we get more of that energy here? It had style. It had attitude, but sometimes it felt like it was holding back just a little. The R-Line trim especially always looked sporty, but not fully unleashed. For 2026, though, Volkswagen looks like it finally said, okay, let's turn this thing up. From the moment you see the new T-Roc R-Line, you can tell it's not playing around. The front end is sharper, more aggressive, and honestly, more confident. The grille looks wider and lower. The LED light bars stretching across the front gives it that modern European vibe we've been seeing on higher-end models. And the R-Line bumper design. Way more sculpted. The air intakes look functional, not fake. That matters. Because nobody wants fake vents in 2026. We're past that. And the stance, that's what really changes the vibe. The new T-Roc sits slightly lower, with wider wheel arches and bigger alloy wheels that actually fill out the body properly. It looks planted. It looks like it wants to move. Even parked, it doesn't look boring. Let me ask you something. When you pull up somewhere, do you want your car to just blend in, or do you want someone to double take and think, wait, what is that? That's the energy this new T-Roc R-Line brings. Now let's talk about what's under the hood, because this is where things get interesting. Volkswagen is leaning harder into hybrid technology, and the 2026 T-Roc R-Line is expected to carry a mild hybrid or even a plug-in hybrid option depending on the market. And before you roll your eyes and think, oh great, another hybrid, hear me out. This isn't about turning it into some boring eco-appliance. The hybrid setup actually helps performance. Instant electric torque means quicker launches. Smoother power delivery. Less lag. That initial jump off the line feels sharper. It feels more responsive in city driving, especially when you're darting through traffic or merging onto the freeway. And honestly, in the US with gas prices always playing games, a hybrid performance crossover kinda makes sense. You get better efficiency during daily commutes, but when you switch it into sport mode, it still pulls. It still gives you that turbocharged punch. The R-Line tuning is expected to sharpen throttle response, tighten steering, and firm up the suspension just enough to make it feel athletic without beating you up. That balance is key. Nobody wants a crossover that pretends to be a race car but rides like a brick. The 2026 T-Roc R-Line seems to aim right in that sweet spot, sporty but livable. Now here's where I think Volkswagen really stepped up, the interior. If you've been inside older T-Roc models, you probably noticed something. They looked good, but some materials felt a little, hard plastics here and there. Screens that were fine but not mind-blowing. For 2026, the cabin feels way more premium. Softer touch materials. Contrast stitching on the seats. R-Line badging that doesn't feel cheap or overdone. The flat-bottom steering wheel looks sporty but clean. The digital cockpit is larger and more customizable, and the infotainment screen sits seamlessly in the dash instead of looking like an iPad glued on at the last second. And let's talk tech for a second. Wireless Apple CarPlay. Wireless Android Auto. Over-the-air updates. Enhanced voice commands that actually understand you when you say normal human sentences instead of robotic commands. Advanced driver assist features like adaptive cruise control, lane centering, and improved parking assist, because let's be real, tight city parking is no joke. But here's the real question. Does the interior finally feel worth the price tag? From early impressions, yes. It finally feels cohesive. Like Volkswagen designed it with intention instead of just checking boxes. Now I know some of you are thinking, okay cool, but it's still a crossover. Can it handle anything off the pavement? Good question. While the T-Roc R-Line isn't some hardcore rock crawler, Volkswagen is expected to offer enhanced all-wheel drive tuning in selectable driving modes. Snow mode. Off-road mode. Adjusted traction control mapping. Slightly increased ground clearance compared to standard trims. So if you're heading up to a cabin in the mountains, dealing with snow, gravel roads, or uneven terrain, this thing won't panic. It won't feel out of place. And honestly, that's the kind of off-road capability most people actually use. Not Moab-level crawling, just real-world confidence. And I think the biggest shift with the 2026 T-Roc R-Line is confidence. It doesn't feel like it's trying to compete quietly. It feels like it knows what it is. Sporty. Efficient. Modern. Practical. Stylish. Not extreme. Not over the top. Just balanced in a way that fits real life. Picture this, weekday commute with solid fuel efficiency and comfortable ride. Weekend road trip with friends, plenty of cargo space, solid sound system blasting your playlist. Snowy day. AWD's got you covered. Quick backroad drive. Sport mode tightens everything up. That versatility is what makes this interesting. Now I want to know something from you guys. Do you think hybrid performance crossovers are the future? Or do you still want full gas turbo engines only? Would you buy a T-Roc R-Line over something like a Mazda CX-5 Turbo or even stretch into entry-level luxury territory? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I'm genuinely curious where you stand. And here's another one, if Volkswagen brought this exact spec to the US officially, would it sell big numbers? Or is it still too European in vibe? Because sometimes the cars enthusiasts love aren't always the cars that dominate sales charts. One more thing I appreciate, Volkswagen isn't going wild with unnecessary gimmicks. No fake engine noises piped through speakers that sound like a video game. No crazy oversized grills just for attention. The design evolution feels mature. Clean lines. Sharper details. Subtle aggression. That's the kind of design that ages well. Fast forward 5 years. Will this still look good? I think yes. And in a world where EVs are taking over headlines and some brands are going fully electric, the hybrid T-Roc R-Line feels like a bridge. A smart middle ground. You get electrification benefits without range anxiety. You get performance gains without full battery weight. That balance might be exactly what buyers want right now. At the end of the day, the 2026 Volkswagen T-Roc R-Line feels like it's stepping into its prime. It's sharper than before. Smarter than before. More efficient. More premium. More confident. And honestly, it might be one of the most underrated sporty crossovers heading into 2026. But now it's your turn. Is this something you'd actually put in your driveway? Or are you waiting for something even more aggressive from Volkswagen? Let me know down below. I read the comments, and I love seeing the debates you guys get into. If you enjoyed this deep dive and you're hyped about upcoming 2026 models, go ahead and smash that like button so more car fans can see this. And if you're new here and you love staying ahead of the curve on future cars, hybrid tech, performance crossovers, and everything in between, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. 2026 is shaping up to be wild in the car world, and we're just getting started. I'll catch you in the next one.